Spanish, Portuguese people, like they love like having the ball at their feet. Like then they can teach us how to do that. We can teach them like us Danes are probably more stronger and more physical. And then like we can bring that aspect to the game and like the American people can run.
Sophia Husted, welcome to the OneDog Podcast.
Thank you.
Women's soccer player, going into your senior year here. Let's start with, you're not from here.
No.
So how did you actually get to Wingate?
I think after high school, I graduated in 2020. And then COVID hit, obviously. And after COVID was like, I want to go travel. Like, I want to explore the world after being like sitting at home for almost a year. But also I was like, I just can't give up soccer right now. And then an opportunity came around where this agent contacted me and was like, hey, we have this like thing that's like where you can go get a degree while you're playing soccer in the United States, which of course for women's soccer is like huge,
right?
Because it's the biggest platform for women's soccer. And at first I was like, like moving away from home, like basically opposite side of the planet. But then I was like, you know what? If you don't take chances, you don't get opportunities. And I also told myself it's only going to be a year, sitting here in my 4th year, and I'm absolutely loving it.
That's funny. So, Sophia's from Denmark. I've been to Denmark. Where in Denmark, where are you from?
I'm from like the West Coast. Okay. So like the furthest away from Copenhagen, which is probably the place most people know.
Yeah.
So yeah, a small little town.
And Denmark's so tiny, like the size of Denmark's smaller than North Carolina,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's probably like the size of Charlotte, to be honest. It's really small.
Yeah.
So how was that going from Denmark and then all the way across the U.S. to a different place to go at a college that you probably never have heard of? Walk me through that.
So obviously it was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Just because you're speaking a different language, like I knew like I wasn't bad at English, but like going from like talking it constantly and communicating everything. But honestly, it only took a couple of weeks, and then like everybody was just so nice. Everybody over here is so welcoming.
I don't know. The people in Denmark are pretty nice.
Nah, compared to American people, I would say we're pretty reserved. So it was just like everybody was so good at like not letting people sit alone, like always like bringing you to stuff. And then like all of a sudden like weeks went by and you were just like, I feel like I've known these people for months or years.
Right. And the women's soccer team has a lot of international, usually. I'm not sure how it is now, but it typically, like, we get a lot of international people. How is that kind of having all the different nations kind of come together to play? You've got people from all over the world that kind of come on this team that you guys just meet and join up and like, all right, here we are.
No, I think it's pretty cool because like we all have different like soccer backgrounds. Like I'm used to play some way. The American people are used to playing some sort of soccer, and like we have a girl from Portugal. They're playing a different kind of soccer. We have a girl from Japan. They also play, like, it just puts like a bigger like thing to the game. Like we have so many like options to play and so many styles of play we can play and like different players. But it also like, it's just fun to like also have people like in the same boat as you, if you know what I'm saying. Like, yes, there's 2 other Danish people on the team, but also like I can talk to like Manu, which is the Portuguese girl, and we'll still connect because she knows like if she's feeling sad or like, hey, like I'm a little down right now, like we're in the same boat, like we're both hundreds of thousands miles away from home.
Yeah,
but
that's really, I never considered that, of like the different styles that you guys play. How does that help the team? Do you think that makes you guys, I guess, more dangerous or like harder to play against? Before we move on with the podcast, let's thank one of our sponsors, Thomas & Weber. Yes, my wife, Tiffany Weber, took that great Wingate education and became a lawyer. We have 3 offices, one in Denver, Mooresville, and Huntersville, North Carolina. We primarily focus on residential, commercial real estate closings and also estate plans. So if you're in North Carolina looking to close a house or get your will updated, look up www.thomasandweber.com.
Yeah, definitely, because we can, like, for us, like, we can learn from each other, like, Spanish, Portuguese people, like they love like having the ball at their feet. Like then they can teach us how to do that. We can teach them, like us Danes are probably more stronger and more physical. And then like we can bring that aspect to the game, and like the American people can run. So like they bring that aspect to the game. And I feel overall, if you have components of everything, it just makes you overall dangerous.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've never thought of that. And like, that now I want to pay attention. Like that's
Yeah.
super interesting because each part of the world plays differently.
Yeah.
You know, like the strengths of certain areas, or you know, just like the way people interact. Like some people are much more polite, so they're probably much more likely to like pass the ball rather than, you know, oh, we have the like we're good with just one-on-one, and that's
Yeah.
what we do. So it's really interesting. I've never thought of that. That's really, really cool to think about. So going into your senior year, we've had a pretty good soccer program for quite a while. What are kind of the expectations of you, and what are your goals, and what are you trying to accomplish with the team, all that fun stuff?
I'm not gonna lie, like I've been here almost 4 years now. I really want to win something. Like we've always been in second or third. Like we've always been this like little step behind LR and Catawba. And I think the people also we brought in this year is gonna help us push it to like that step where we can at least compete with them. And I think a lot of people are hungry for that like win. Like we really want to win the SAC, and that is the expectation. Like we want to win the SAC. And for me personal as well, like I want to just be able to contribute as much as possible, help both on and off the field, and just make an impact when I leave this place.
Yeah, that's great. What's your major?
Exercise science.
Okay, so what's your plan to do with that?
So honestly, I don't know. I really want to like work in the like the athletic world at home. But it's difficult at home because like I have to send in my education. They have to take a look at it. Like, what am I missing? What do I need? And like the job I want is to work with people in sports. And I'm not gonna lie, I would rather work with professionals, but those jobs is not just there. And like we don't have the same like school system as you do over here. So like we don't have ATs or sports connected to the school. So like you have to go out, and like it's difficult to find jobs within that area where I want to work in. But you could say I could stay over here, but I really want to go home.
That was one of my next questions. Is you're planning to go home or stay here? And it sounds like heading back home is gonna be a good choice. What's the thing that drew you to Wingate the most when you were checking things out, or since you've been here? What's something that you've really fell in love with that you didn't think you would?
I think the first thing that drew me to Wingate was obviously the soccer program. It was just like, first we had an international coach when I got here, Jack, and now we have Katie. And it was just like you talk to a lot of different schools, and they're all like, "Oh, come here, we'll give you this, this, and that." But like with here, I just never felt that like they just wanted me because they wanted me. Like they wanted the person that I am, and like they felt like my personality could fit in. Like obviously, like I had something to contribute sports wise, but also like I felt like myself, like the human being Sophia, was appreciated, as well as how Sophia can play soccer. And I think that was the first thing that like drew me in. And then after getting here, it's just like people are just so welcoming and nice and open. Like I have friends all over like different sports, and it's just like easy to like be around. Like you see people, you walk to Starbucks, you walk around campus. It's just an open environment. Like you can say hi to everyone. You don't always have to sit with soccer people. You can sit with like other sports as well.
And I'm sure the weather is a big plus.
It's a very big plus.
Yeah, there's what, a month or so where it's really nice.
Yeah.
And great. And everyone just goes and sits out at the university. They all just go and sit out.
Yeah.
And everyone's outside. But outside of that, it's generally cold and cloudy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That's really cool though. When you got here, what was your moment when it kind of like the welcome to either America or welcome to like college moment where you're like, oh, this is interesting. This is different. This isn't what I expected.
I think just like smaller things, American people make it bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, we need to celebrate this. We need to celebrate that. And then like, we always have this little like joke around the team where we're like international schools. Oh, that's so American.
That's funny. That's funny. So when you started here, Jack was your coach. Jack was here when I played.
Yeah.
And he ended up, did he go to a professional?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was it kind of going underneath Jack? And, you know, he's doing well, obviously. He's a professional college or professional soccer coach, and then moving and having a new coach kind of halfway through your playing career. How has that kind of transition been for you?
I would say 100% the easiest. Like I wasn't expecting it because like I've had Jack obviously for 3 years, but like Coach Katie just fits so well in within the team. Like she just understands people on a deeper level, soccer wise, like as a personality wise. She just takes really good care of people, and she's really open and honest. Like she wants to listen to other people's opinions. Like she always comes in, like me and Manu are the captains of the team, so she always comes in and like, hey, what do you think of this idea? And like she always like tries different things, and like she just has my deepest respect. Like she tries different things, but she's also really open. Like she's open. She knows when she makes a mistake, and like she also is the one who tells you when you make a mistake. But that's what I like in a coach, like the openness and like the willingness to communicate and then try different things.
Yeah, that's really nice to be able to have that conversation with you guys and having her listen. You know, like you guys are out there playing, so it's coaching's great, but you're not the one on the field going through it. So being able to listen to your players is obviously hugely important. Someone that's an international athlete that wants to come over and play soccer or sports in general, what are some pieces of advice you would give them of things that they might not be thinking about or things that they might not be considering before they come over?
It's going to be overwhelming in the first couple of weeks, but give it time. Like everybody is so ready to help you get through it. And like, it's just, like I said in the beginning, for me, like I never sat alone in my room. Like if you're on a team, the teammates will always pick you up. And like the fact that you live with a roomie the first year that's on your team also helped me a lot. Like I had an American roomie, Taylor was her name. She's not here anymore. She ended up transferring, but she also helped me a lot. Like she helped me like, oh, let's go hang out with these people. Or she obviously talked to a lot of people before coming here because she knew like she committed like half a year before coming here. So she knew the incoming class as well. And she was really good at like bringing me into stuff and like taking me here and like just made me really comfortable, because obviously it's uncomfortable having to go somewhere and speak a different language that you normally don't speak. But that's what I said again, like American people are so open and welcoming. Like I remember when I got to the airport the first time, I was lost. I've never been to America ever. I didn't know I had to remove my suitcase.
Oh gosh.
I didn't know about like the immigration part and how long that line was and stuff. And I was just so confused. And this one woman at Atlanta airport just saw me and she was like, where do you need to go? Give me your ticket and I'll show you the way. And she literally took my stuff and like walked me all the way to my gate and made sure that I was okay. And I just feel like that's like an common thing over here. Like people are good at like making sure that you're okay. Like it's okay to be down. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't miss my family, I don't miss home. But I have friends, my best friends here that's like willing to pick me up when I'm needing it the most.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Sophia, I think hearing a story like yours of someone coming over from, really you knew nothing about the school, knew nothing about America, and then, you know what, I'm going to come over, play soccer, and have a good 4 years. I think it's really inspiring for a lot of people that, they might not think that's a possibility. So we appreciate you coming on and sharing that story, and, good luck with the rest of the season. Hopefully we get a SAC championship this year.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to follow you and your progress, what's the best way to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
It's Sophia and then _ and then Husted.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure we link that there. And if people want to check you out and follow you, then they can go ahead and do that. But we appreciate you coming on, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you.